Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your May 2026 tarot card reading. We're going to get started with an oracle card. Ceremony, invocation. I like this. So it has, certainly invocation and ceremony indicates a religious or ritual, a prayer, but it's manifestation, which takes on so many ways, right? So many different ways to practice, so many different ways to invoke our desires and our dreams. But I like it because it's a ceremonial thing. It wants you to take time, it wants you to find the space, and it wants your intentions, to have a little bit more profound purpose. So let's see if we can get some additional guidance and messages from our tarot for Virgo for May. Five of Wands. Five of Cups. And Seven of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Nine of Wands. Knight of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, so let's take a look at this a little closer here. So the Wands showed up, and the Wands represent our passion, our desires. It is a symbol that's usually connected with our fire signs, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But we all embody some pentacles, which obviously would embody you and Taurus and Capricorn as our earth signs. We all embody the cups, which are our water signs, right? That would talk about Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces. So, and of course the swords, which are Libra, and I had to think about this in Aquarius and Gemini. So we all embody all of these, and usually when these cards show up, it's what energy of yours is leading into this month. And the Wands showed up pretty profoundly and in a very active way. First of all, I love the Eight of Wands, and I always attribute it to more of a Mercury type of energy, which of course is your ruler, because it moves swiftly. These Eight of Wands come in fast, and they're coming on a diagonal, and they're headed towards you. And they usually represent major life events, somebody coming in to change your life, new jobs, new people, new homes, new places. This represents travel, love, big stuff, big major moves in life. And, I like that showed up because number one, Mercury is happy, this month. It's moving fast. It's moving through Gemini, which of course, it loves because that's your fellow air sign. And I'm not your fellow air sign, but a fellow air sign. And that's what Mercury represents. But it is a very happy. So it's speedy and happy because it's in its domicile, it's in its rulership, so to speak. So it blesses us all, actually. And so it doesn't really matter, what represents who. My point is, you are all of these things, Virgo. And when certain elements show up stronger than others, those are the ones that we need to lean into more, to help us move on. Now, that being said, look at this, the Seven of Pentacles up here, which is you looking at your bounty, you doing an inventory of your assets, and wondering why it's, maybe not larger. You've been working hard, and then all of a sudden, maybe later on this month, you're at the Ten of Pentacles, balance sheet, which is fantastic. This is great prosperity. So things will be moving quickly on all areas. But let's talk about which is interesting too, because Mars, there's going to be progress, and there's going to be times where it's slow. So indication, Seven of Pentacles, and that's okay. And that's Mars in Taurus, and which Mars isn't really happy to be in Taurus because it likes to move at lightning speed, like the Knight of Swords, like the Eight of Wands. This is more of Mars's energy, and Mars will be moving on into that energy, but for now it's just going to be persistent, and it's going to show progress. And by the way, Taurus isn't really happy there is there too, because it's pushing a fellow earth sign a little bit out of the comfort zone, which means you will be too. So let's talk about the Five of Wands a little bit up here. This little confusion, maybe a little bit of a battle, maybe a little bit of difficulties, and that difficulty comes in your circle. There's 5 people there, so this is in your community, at work or on a personal level, and you're trying to accomplish something. You're trying to get some things done, and there's going to be some disappointment about that. The Five of Cups is definitely disappointment and loss, and you are looking to to kind of move through that. You're going to have to get past your disappointment, which, by the way, the Seven of Pentacles always also represents. So I'm probably thinking this might have something to do at work, because you're trying to, elevate your job, elevate your income, elevate something, and you're not getting the right cooperation with that. People are holding you back. People aren't agreeing with you, and there might be a little bit of competition, right, that's standing in your way. So things aren't going to be easy, but that's okay. That's okay. You're going to get past it, because you're not going to continue to fight the fight. You're going to move on from it. And how do I know? Well, you're going to take time to, okay, there's where I spent my energy. I'm going to turn around and grab these 2 cups. I already have a good foundation with my Seven of Pentacles, and I'm going to move on, this month into my 2nd and 3rd week here, and I'm going to look at my other opportunities. Now, the Queen of Cups is beautiful opportunity, because all court cards, queens and kings especially, have a certain level of professionalism, a certain level of a cachet, which means that you have the opportunity for advancement, to elevate, to get, a trophy, to get a better position. And you're going to protect it, though. I think this Nine of Wands tells me that there is definitely some big competition coming for you. The Knight of Swords is real aggressive energy, somebody who is on a mission. And I don't think this is you, Virgo. Not that you cannot be ambitious, but typically aggression isn't, the first word that we use to describe you, by nature. This more Aries energy, right? A little bit more Mars behind that. And so somebody is headed your way, somebody's going to try to get something from you. You're putting up your boundaries, though. Good for you. You're kind of protecting something. Maybe, this information and this new job that you've got in your hip pocket, or this new opportunity that's coming your way. And you're going to protect that. And you should, because somebody is definitely on its way. Now, we talk about the invocation, and we talk about the ceremony. And so I really do think that this is something that you've been wanting for a while, and that you've been working on for a while. Also, the Seven of Pentacles suggests that too, because there's a little bit of disappointment where after a lot of hard work, you're really not where you want to be yet. But look at this. This Ten of Pentacles shows grandeur. It shows prosperity. It shows acknowledgement. It shows being received well in your community, whether that's at work or at home. So you are on your way to some type of promotion or some type of new position that's going to be on your level, and it's going to merit your hard work. It's going to reach that pinnacle. You're almost there. Now, the High Priestess is also a very spiritual card by nature, and this can absolutely help guide you. But, spirituality and invocations and ceremonies and prayers and manifestations. I said earlier when I was talking about this card that there's so many tools to use to bring this energy into you. And the High Priestess is just another form of that. You know, it's esoterical, it's intuitive. You have this also. You embody all of these things, once again, Virgo. And this reading is having you pull out, you know, the energies that are going to help you reach the pinnacle of your success, which is the 10 of Pentacles. So get ready, you know, for this 8 of Wands energy coming your way. This Mercury, this could happen perhaps, I think on the 18th, when Mercury is entering Gemini. And let me see, I think that's right. And when that happens, you are going to be well on your way to your success story, to your victory, and you will reach that emotional and spiritual place of serenity. Okay, let's get one more card to see what other type of challenges are coming your way from May. Queen of Swords. Well, she is, I like this card because we've been talking a lot about work, and I do feel that that is really, or your community, whatever that means for you, some leadership role. And of course, swords represent that too, by the way. And I think the Queen of Swords, nobody messes with her. Nobody messes with the Queen of Swords. She means business. She's stoic. She's professional. And she is, well, she is just as successful and as abundant as the Queen of Cups, but the energy is different. And again, I like the juxtaposition here because the Queen of Cups is a little bit more serene, a little bit more quiet, a little bit more unsuspecting, I guess would be good. And she's definitely misunderstood. People don't see the Queen of Cups coming. She doesn't use it really to her advantage, but she realizes it's there. It's her nature. That's your nature. The Queen of Swords is a little bit more in your face and a little bit more abrupt. And so that's you too. You have to understand when to go back and forth with this, you know, when to stand up and be the steely Queen of Swords so that nobody's coming in to take advantage of your situation, your position, and also the Queen of Cups where you have a softer appeal, where things are just being, where you're being a magnet and attracting these things. I like it. I hope it resonates. If it has, please like, share, and subscribe. Wishing you balance, peace, and harmony. Take care.